topic actually. In last class, we studied about gray code and then just saw a very simple aspect of it, how to write down decimal numbers in gray code. So we tried one very trivial method, and the method was very simple that, okay, we start writing counting from 0 and all the way up to whatever number we want. Now, today we will see, I mean, suppose we have to convert a big number like say 50, 76, say 97, or say 150. So those kind of numbers, it is not possible to write down counting all the way from 0 up to that number, right? So there is a way to convert from decimal to corresponding gray code and back from gray code to decimal code. So in this today's class, we will be talking how we can actually convert a number given in a decimal format to corresponding gray code. So the first step in this direction is actually to convert the given decimal number to its binary form. We will be starting with one example and parallelly doing the example also. So let us take an example in a decimal form, which is 15, and this number is very simple. I hope you all know how to convert this to the binary form. This comes out to be equal to 1111 in 4-bit system. That is your 15. Okay. Now, what is the second step is the most significant bit as such. So whenever you are going to convert from decimal to gray code, you will write down the most significant bit as such. Let us first write down the number in binary form. So this is the number in binary form. Now, following second step, what would mean? So now we are trying to write down the gray code equivalent of 15. So what you will do in first step is actually to write down most significant bit as such. Well, then what do you do next? What you do next is add most significant bit to the next bit. So this bit you take, which is most significant bit, and you add this to this number. And what is the sum? You write down that sum here and don't bother about carry at all. So what will be the sum? So this will be one binary sum. Now you have to write down binary sum. So this will be 1 plus 1, which is going to be 1, 0, correct? So what will be the next bit here is 0. What next? You keep on adding this way till you arrive at the final answer, which will be nothing but the given number in the gray code form. So what you have to do now is you have to take this bit and add this bit to the next bit. So means what you have to do is you have to add this to this bit. So what will that give? 1 plus 1, 1, 0. So 0, 1 is carry, which is discarded. So what you will be, sorry, this will be 0, yeah. This will be 0 here. This is the next bit of this. And then finally, last step will be what? To add this bit to the next one, the least significant bit. So what will be the answer here? 0. So finally, what do we mean is that, okay, our 15 in decimal form is equal to 1000 in gray code format. Is this clear? This is very simple. Is there any question or doubt in this? Well, I mean, let us see if we got the correct thing. Okay, let us see if we got the number correctly. So now this was your table which we were discussing. So in gray code, what is 15? 15 is equal to 1000. So that's correctly done. You can try now any number, at least from this table. Maybe you can take this 12 and use its binary form. This is the binary form already available. Now don't directly compare this. You apply that method which is discussed here to actually obtain the gray code equivalent of this number 1100. You proceed with this. So what we should be doing is We will write down most significant bit as such, so 1 as such, then add this to this one, so 1 plus 1, 0, carry to be discarded, so 1 0, then add this one to next 0, right? So that will be giving us 1, and then 0 plus 0 is 0. So that's your what you can call gray code equivalent of this given binary number, that is 12. Okay, now let's try one more example to make things more clear. Okay, we will try one more example with the same steps. Let's take a number called 53. So what is 53 in binary form? You check it, you convert it and get the number you should get is 110101. You convert 53 to binary form and check if you are getting it correct way. That's the number you should get. So first step is convert the number to binary form. So take 53 and convert it. Are you getting it in the same way? What are you doing? I am saying, what is the binary form of 53? Is it okay this way? Don't be over smart and over fast. Okay, fine. If you are so over smart, what is this number? Is this 53 in binary form or what? Shubh and Jyoti. What is this number? Is 53 correctly converted here to binary form or not? That's what I want you to ask. I want you to do. Am I audible? 11010101. Okay. Now what will be the next step? You have to write down the most significant bit as such. So this is our binary number now, 53. Write most significant bit this way. Then add, same thing. So what will be 1 plus 1? 0. Correct? Carry will be discarded. Keep on doing this. So 1 plus 0 is 1. Correct? Then again this bit to next one. So 0 plus 1 is 1 once again. Then add this bit to this bit, which is nothing but 1 once again. And you have to add this, which gives you 1 further. So what we can say that 53 to the base 10 means decimal 53 is equal to 101111 in gray code form. I hope you understood this well. Now let me give you another example. You do it yourself. What is 96 in decimal form in gray code form? Convert 96 to the corresponding gray code form. Yes, please go ahead. Oh, sorry, I was actually talking and my mic was mute. So some of you got this. Almost everyone is getting the same answer. Let me check if it is correct. So what will this be in gray code format? This is your 96 in a binary form. I hope you all got it correctly. Then this will be the gray code form of 96. So this is how we can get any number from binary, sorry, decimal to gray code. Is that okay, or anyone is having any confusion over this? Is that okay? Or anyone is having any confusion over this? Is it okay, or okay, fine. I mean, okay, your messages were not synchronized. Fine. Well, so now let us proceed further and do another example. Example is now is opposite way. Now we have seen how to convert decimal to gray code. Now the this one or this part now will be focusing on how to get gray code converted back to the decimal form. So this also is simple, and we have to follow a few steps. So what is the first step is that, okay, if some number has been given in the gray code format, then you have to first find out its binary form and then convert it back to the decimal form. So what you do there is first you write down the most significant bit as such. Let us take the example which we already have done. What was this 101111? I hope you remember this number. Okay, we know this is this one. I have deliberately taken this number which is already available to us. Fine, so that we could actually verify it easily. You can take any random number as well. Well, so what is the first step is write down most significant bit as such. So suppose this is a number, binary number actually, given in gray code format. So what is the first step says? You have to write down most significant bit directly. So here it is. Then what the second step say is add this bit to, add this to the bit next to most significant bit and write the sum ignoring carry. What is the meaning of this is that you wrote this bit here, you have to add this bit to the next bit appearing here. So you have to add these two and write down the sum, and the sum should appear here actually. That's what we should do. So basically 0 plus 1 will be what? 1. If there is any carry, you ignore it. Well, what to do next? Next step says keep on doing this unless you arrive at least significant bit. Means now you will be taking this bit and add this to this one. That's what we will be doing next. And then whatever sum comes will be kept here, will be put here. So you know what to do. 1 plus 1 is 0. So that will be kept here. Carry we have already ignored. This is what is the instruction, right? Then what we do? Add this one here to this one. What will that do? Will give us 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Then proceed further. So 1 plus 1, what will that give us? 0. And then last one as well. We have to continue until we reach at least significant bit. So what will this give us? 1 plus 0, 1. So basically, fine. So what does it mean is this final number which we have got here is nothing but the straight binary form of this gray code number. So you know what is straight binary form means? It is a weighted number. So every bit has a particular weight. So this has 2 raised to the power 0, this has 2 raised to power 1, 2 raised to the power 3, 2 raised to power 4, and so on. Correct? So here it is. I mean, 101111 in gray code format is equal to 110101 in binary form. Now we have to check. Means ultimate goal was to reach at decimal format. So what is this number in decimal form? So what we do is we took this number, write down the weight for the corresponding bits. So you know this bit is the least significant bit, has a weight 1. This is 0, so whatever weight doesn't matter. This is bit 1 having weight 4. So this is 0 into 8, which is 0 again. This is 1 into 16, which is 16. 1 into 32 is 32. We already have done it earlier as well. So what is this is nothing but 53. So that is what we have already checked. So 53 had the corresponding gray code being this one. And here we saw that how to convert from a particular binary, I mean particular gray code to decimal form. I hope this is also clear to you because this is very simple. Is this clear? Okay. Okay, meanwhile we proceed further. I request you to sign your attendance. I mean, just type your roll number here. Okay, fine. So let us do another example. This one. So I'm giving you this number. It is in gray code format. Now you convert it to decimal equivalent. Do it as a small exercise. Yes. Yes. Is it done? Anshul got it as 96. What about others? Very good. I mean, I think most of you got it correct. So, oh, Mohit also got it wrong way. Mohit, what did you miss? Mohit, cross check your answer. Why it should be 48? Cross check what mistake you did. Others as well. All of you do it. So the answer should be 96. Please cross check your answer quickly, Mohit. And let me know if everything is fine. I mean, you could got the correct answer or not. It should be 96. Or if you have confusion, please let me know so that I can help you. Where is Mohit? Okay, Mohit, now you got it correct. Fine. So this should be 96. Very good. So now we shall be talking somewhat more about the codes. As we were talking in our previous class, actually these are different ways of writing numbers in various formats. And that process of writing a particular number in a different what you call binary form is called coding. For example, you may write numerical, and right as of now, we are only talking about number parts. Number means we are only talking about uh, numbers, and we are not at all bothering about how we write down the those alpha numerics. So now we will be discussing here that how we basically write down various alphanumerics. So there are again various different ways of doing that. So there are different coding systems which people follow, and this is a table which shows some codes. Say for example, if somebody says, okay, I'm using a 6-bit internal code, then in that a should be equal to 010001. What should be B? B should be equal to 100010, and so on. So I mean, we can't just memorize this, and no need to do that. But yes, main thing here is that whenever you are going to design any circuit uh, or any device, any digital device, you have to decide that okay, how will your input be converted, because any user who is going to use your digital device is not actually going to prefer to work in binaries, zeros or ones. So you have to decide some input method to the user, and based upon that, you may design some keyboard for the user, and keyboard will actually be entering the information from, or the user will actually be entering the information from the keyboard with the help of the keyboard. But ultimately, your device has to process that information in binary form, correct? So now you have to decide, okay, what will be the digital or binary data corresponding to, say, suppose some letter A which you have fixed on keyboard. And that's what happens in your computers as well, or even in your mobiles. So when you press something like, say, A, then there is some specific code in the device designed for that particular letter. Say for A, this is the code, and so on. And then that information is actually stored somewhere in your device, and then that information is also displayed on the screen. For example, if I type A, suppose we are writing a Word document, then I do write something on keyboard, and then what you see on the screen is also the same thing, right? If you write down A in keyboard, you see A on the screen. And you may ask question that, okay, I'm writing A, why am I not seeing that 00110 and all that stuff on the screen? This is because how the what processes are happening in between. When you press some button in keyboard, suppose A, then that information is first converted to binary form. Then that is stored temporarily in your RAM. Then that information is processed back, and then is displayed on the screen. Now there is a coder applied here. When you press key, the coder do convert that key into digital form or binary form, and then there is another decoder. Your software is actually acting like a decoder, that okay, it reads from the RAM that particular binary data, and then display that back on the screen in the non-binary form, or you would say alphanumeric form. So that is how this coding and decoding is very helpful and important aspect of designing digital devices. I hope it is clear. Is there a question from this? Did you understand what I am trying to say? Are you able to get what I am saying? Very good. So similarly, I mean, if somebody is using 6-bit internal coding, that may be the symbols for A, B, C, D, all your alphabets. There may be other case when somebody is following 8-bit EBC CDIC code. So there are different organizations which actually fixes, okay, what code to use. And then as a hardware designer, you may design a device following that particular set of uh, coding. So what will be the advantage of this is that, okay, when you have designed your device, now one person can't do each and everything. So right, you can ask your collaborators to actually make the processing softwares or respective hardwares as per the coding table which you may provide them. Okay, I am following, say for example, 6-bit internal code. So I ask somebody, okay, I have designed a software for 6-bit internal code, so you design hardware accordingly in such a way that when you press A, your output in binary form is 10001 and so on. So you follow that specific table. But if I am saying, okay, no, I am now using, say, 8-bit EBCDIC code, then I may say, okay, A in that case would mean something like 101000001. Similarly, B would mean something like this and so on. Now, which particular format to follow is all up to your freedom and popularity of that format. And there is no necessary relationship between the two. I mean, they are not necessarily related with each other. Now, here are some other same thing continued actually. So this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Then remaining things are present here. S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So up to Z are these. And then, of course, whenever you see a keyboard, you also have 0. Then 0 is written like this. In EBCDIC, it is written like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Even if you press a space, which is blank, but in computer there is nothing like blank. So even a space is written like 110000 in 6-bit internal format, and in next format it is written like this. If you press a dot, there is a corresponding binary equivalent to that, and so on. I mean, each and everything you are seeing on your keyboard actually has some binary equivalent, and that is where these codes are important, or coding is important. Then there is one very popular coding method which is called ASCII, and most of our devices now work on this ASCII based coding. So basically, what is this code, or what does ASCII stand for? Anyone is aware of what is ASCII? Yes, anyone of you, if you are aware of what is ASCII, what does it stand for? Yes, write down the full form of ASCII if anyone is familiar. American Standard for Information Interchange. Yes, very good. So this actually now is very, I would say, popularly accepted and well recognized. And most of our devices are designed on the basis of ASCII coding. So now this table, which is appearing on your screen, actually says what will be the binary equivalent for particular letter in ASCII format. So in this table here, you are seeing various numbers, right, and alpha numerics as well, right, alphabets as well as numbers. Fine. So how to read this table actually is something like this. Like, let us take simple example of H. So is a system of how much? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bits. So it is a combination of 6 bits. And how they are written, like, okay, B0, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6. Now, how to identify the values for B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6 is, okay, something like this. Let us see capital H here. Here is capital H. Now, corresponding to this, you have to locate in this table what is the value of B0. So, what is B0 here is 0. Can you see? B0 is 0. Correct? Similarly, you can see B0 is 0. What is B1 for H? This is B1, which is also 0 again. So, 0. What is B2? B2 is for H. I hope you are able to follow me on table. So this is H, this is your B0, then is your B1, then is your B2, correct? What is B3 is 1. So you can see B3 is 1 here. Are you able to see this? So, okay, this is H, B0, this is B0, B1 0, B2 is also 0, and what is B3 is 1, correct? So up to this, the bits decided, and then what will be B4, B5, B6 will follow from here. So corresponding to H, you have to come here and follow this column now. What is B4? 0. What is B5? 0. What is B6 is 1. So what H can be written in ASCII format is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Is it clear? Is this clear how to look this table? Very good. Let us try one more example given here. It is already given. Say, suppose you write down small n. Small n. So, interesting thing is, whenever you press capital H in your keyboard, the information created is in digital form, that is 1001000. Fine. That is the information created in digital form. And whatever is, and how it is stored in your pen drive or in your hard drive, it is stored in the form of these 1100 and so on. But when you read it, you will be surprised to see that, okay, I never saw this H written in this form. We can't. So this is all happening in background. You don't, you are not supposed to see this, because if you see all these things, you will be totally confused. Let us try another example. How can we convert small n? Here is small n. Now try to see what will be this code, ASCII code for small n. So you have to first locate small n here. Where is small n in the table? It is sitting here. I hope you are able to see n here, right? So what will be B0? B0, B1, B2, B3 will be coming from here. So what is B0 is 0. B1 is 1. B2 is 1. All again, B3 is also 1. So you can see 1, 1, 1, 0. Fine. And what is your remaining bits? Means B4, B5, B6. What are they? You have to go to N and go here in this column. That will be 1, 1, 0 respectively. So that is 1, 1, 0. So that is how we can write down any particular alphanumeric in ASCII format. Okay, this is capital H. Can you identify how we will write down small h in ASCII format? Then also try to identify how we can write down capital N in ASCII format. So each letter, okay, here they have written the same thing in hexadecimal format. So I'm sure you can convert this to hexadecimal form. So this number should come out to be equal to 48. Does it come out to be? Yes, it should. You have to make a set of 4 bits. So this is nothing but 8. And what is this? Is nothing but 4. So 48. This is easy to convert. Okay, what is small h? Yes, waiting for your response. You look at that table and then type what should small h mean in ASCII standard. Small h. Yes, very good. Go ahead. Okay, Anshul wrote something like this. You have to make sure that you write it in 6-bit format. Oh, there are answer. Okay, Mohit is saying 48. 48 to the 16. How it is possible? Mohit, 48 is for capital H, not small h. You see on the screen, this is for capital H. So small h has to be different. What is that? This is what we have to identify. So if we come here, where is small h is sitting here. So small h will be 0, 0, 0, 1. This part remains exactly the same. What changes is this part, which is 1, 1, 0. So this will be 1, 0, 0 here for capital H. For small h, it will be 1, 1, 0. So what will this be? Will it be 48 or what? In hexadecimal, what will this number be? What will this number be in hexadecimal format? Yes, waiting. Tanvi, I don't think it is. Come on. It is 110. And 8 will remain same, I think, because this bit, this H is lying, both H's are lying in same row. So this will remain same, 1001, which is nothing but 8. So what is going to change is this thing. So what is this equal to? Is it 3? Come on, I don't think. It is 68. Yeah, Jyoti, you are correct. So that is how you can now, I hope, appreciate, or you should be in a position to appreciate the role of coding and decoding. Okay. Now suppose, okay, let me give you an assignment. Every one of you write down ASCII equivalent of first letter of your name in capital form. So for example, Tanvi should write down what is capital T. So how you should write down? You should write down, say T is equal to what is the ASCII equivalent. In this format you write down, okay? So everyone write down the ASCII equivalent of first letter of their name in capital form. I'm waiting for your responses in the chat box. Yes, please, go ahead. And also write down these numbers in hexadecimal, converted in hexadecimal format. So you write down, okay, whatever is your name, for example, J is equal to whatever it is. Also write down the same in hexadecimal format, A4 or whatever it comes out to be. So last one should be hexadecimal in the bracket, and middle one should be the ASCII format. I mean binary information in ASCII format. Yes. For example, Yashika should look for what is capital Y. Mohit should look for what is capital M. Jyoti should look for capital J. Tanvi should look for capital T, and so on. All others should actually accordingly write down the ASCII equivalent of their name. First letter of their name, rather. Am I audible? Are you working on it or not? No response as of now. Pallavi, this is not how you should write down. You write down P, you write down, every one of you follow this. P is equal to, Pallavi should do like this. Okay, whatever is the, this one. And then also write down the same in hexadecimal format. So please follow this. Okay. I can check for Abhi. Capital A, according to you, should be 1000001. Let us check. So capital A will be this one, 0001. Abhi, okay, 0001, fine. And what is this correspond? 100, 100, which is nothing but 41. Correct. Abhi, I got it fine. Now you write down. Also, what you do is you write down second. I mean, you both have first name and last name, right? So now you all write down first letter of your last name. All of you, what do you do is you write down first letter of your last name, but not in capital, in small format now, in ASCII. Aditi, I hope you didn't copy it from Abhinav, or you didn't copy it from all who has their names with A, Abhi Kashyap or whatever. Okay, fine. Okay, let me give you an assignment now. What is your assignment is that you all have to write down your full name in binary form using ASCII format. And I will be uploading this assignment on your Google Classroom page. And what you will be doing is capital name, first letter should be with capital 1, then second letter and third letter and so on. All others are in small form. Then last name's first letter also again in capital form as you write down usually. And then others in the small form. And then let me know how many bits will be required to write down your full name in the binary form using ASCII format. I hope this is clear for today. There are some more examples which have been worked out here in the book. For example, let us assume that somebody writes a word or a sentence, a small sentence like this one. My dear Rajendra and comma. What will be the ASCII equivalent of the same? What will be the ASCII equivalent of the same? You try a few first letters, then I will show it up what it is. Oh, did you try my dear Rajendra? Okay, let me show it quickly. I mean, just for your reference. So that's how you can convert. Capital M. Now follow from the table. Of course, it is not possible to actually do it without this one. So what is capital M? You can actually locate from here. Capital M, then similarly Y and so on. I mean, you can follow and then write down this. Even a blank actually should be written. How to write down space? Space can be written like this. So, I mean, it is not already written here, but okay. You actually have to write down binary equivalent of space key as well. So I hope by now you should be in a very comfortable position to actually realize that how things work in digital electronics or digital format. So you actually have everything written in zeros and ones. There is nothing beyond that. Whether it is a colorful screen appearing in front of you, or whether it is any essay written in your Word document, whether it is some piece of music even, whether this audio which you are hearing from my end, all this first is converted to zeros and ones, and then it is transferred to you. And then you can say, for example, my audio, first I'm speaking here, my microphone is converting this into some voltage which is analog. Then there is some analog to digital converter which is being employed here in my computer, and then that analog to digital converter is converting this information, and then that information is being transferred to you via internet in digital format, and then it is being received by your device in digital format, and then that digital information is further processed back by the software whichever you are using, and it is converted from digital to analog, and then that software is converting that digital information of my audio back to the analog voltage, and that is being played in the speakers of your phone. So now you can imagine how fast the digital things are. I mean, we are talking almost in real time without any time lag. So this is something interesting. So our devices, machines are, or they work very, very fast. And even see the role of internet, how fast this carry those bits from one place to another place. And that is how everybody is able to interact live nowadays from their far away respective places. So, well, I mean, that's what clarifies the role of what you call these coder and decoders. We will be talking, I mean, till now we are talking of what you say, see the conversion part only, or we can say software part, or understanding the logic behind the software, how this is working. In coming few classes now, in coming classes actually, now we shall be talking about hardware part, that okay, how these zeros and ones are processed in the electronic circuits. I hope you remember one of our earliest classes which was on different logic gates, how we can design logic gates with the help of transistors, which we called TTL, transistor logics. So now we will be moving back to those logical gates, and somewhere this all information which we have discussed in past few lectures will be assumed to be understood to you. I mean, whenever we are saying, okay, this is the input, then this means, okay, it is actually coming from some device, some kind of digital format input, and then how that is to be processed with the help of circuits. That's what we will be discussing. I hope that's clear for today. If there is any question, please feel free to ask if there is any doubt or any question. Yes. Any queries, please? Am I audible there? There is no query, no response at all even. Okay, fine. So that's about how to convert numbers from decimal to gray code format, and then gray code to back decimal format. And then what are various other what you call coding ways to represent alphanumerics, which includes alphabets and numbers, and even some special symbols like dollar symbol, at the rate, hashtag, percentage, etc., etc. So all those have some binary equivalent. And we also discussed today the ASCII format of binary information. So with this, that's all for today. I thank you all for being part of this class, and then we will meet tomorrow in the next class, where we will be talking further. And now we will be shifting towards hardware part, the digital circuits part. Well, then that's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.